Right, so yesterday I spent the day building my very first laser cut kit that I got one of the railway shows recently. Just needs a bit of weathering now to make, and an internal, some bits for the insides to go in so it doesn't look like an empty box. The lid, the roof isn't glued on, it just sits on two pegs, so you can take it off to put the lights in or people or whatever you fancy. And the kit was from MMR Model Kits, and it was a Type 15 signal box. The instructions are really good, really easy to follow. The only downside for me was the fact that the parts list is on the other side of the instructions, so I had to keep turning the page over to work out where things were. It also recommends that you paint it before you construct it and paint it inside the frames, which is all well and good, except for the paint then seeps down the gap between the frame and the item you're wanting and makes it a bit harder to get out. So I think for me in future, if I were to do it again, I'd take the parts out of the frame and paint them by hand loose instead of having to deal with the stuck paint. I'd also make the stairs up before painting so that you can get the bits to squeeze together nicely, because otherwise it's a bit of a pain to fit them into the 3 little holes just under the door to locate them. But other than that, it was really a pleasurable thing to build actually. I shall go and do weathering and show you what it looks like when I've done it. Right, I've just finished weathering the signal box, and for my first bit of weathering as well, I don't feel like it's gone too badly. I muddied up the steps a bit, put some, oh, it's not really showing up particularly well, there's some random bits of concrete dust and green moss on the roof, but in this light it's not showing up. It looks good in real life anyway. The back of it, and the other side, back to the beginning. And I've just used a teeny tiny brush, some sort of puffy type brush that I had from doing my craft work, and then light earth to muddy up the steps a bit, black soot over most of it just to lose some of the white. Concrete dust is on the roof, and the green moss, I've used a little brush and just put some around the windows and things like that just to make it look like the moss is growing on it. I've also been fitting auto frogs to the points. I've just put the green wire there and it just connects up to the frog. Because although the toothbrush and isopropanol method worked, it just hit the point where I was doing it more and more often and was getting annoying. Sorry, I'm trying to stop the flashing from the LED lights, but it's not playing ball. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Funny angle. So yes, so I've soldered them into the frogs and then drilled them through to attach them to the auto frogs, which then go onto the main bus wire, which then makes changing the points of dream as they automatically flick over and the littler trains don't stop at all or stutter, which is fabulous. What else have I done? I've also done some more static brass work, which I'm assuming you've all already seen anyway, if you watch Colin's Engage. And then there is the new little shunter, which again you've seen pulling a fair few little wagons. Also done a little bit of ballasting, well, quite a big chunk of ballasting, but yeah, it's looking better. So we did all that bit, and these two sections as well, and then one all the way up here. I just started on the little side bits first, so that if it went wrong it wasn't the end of the world. I didn't have to mess around with too much stuff, but I'm quite happy with it. Right, I've also done some, well, I had my first go at weathering on these two little shunting areas, and it doesn't look half bad. I used this stuff, and there's a set of instructions on the back with what you're meant to do. I'll turn it around. And you just literally get your airbrush, water down the paint a little bit, stick it in your airbrush and spray it on. It wasn't too technical, and then I use a track rubber to get it off the top so that the trains run on it nicely.